Facebook basically angering the Australian government with plans to stop paying for news content. They've done this, or they've signaled this in Canada as well, and probably wherever else they think it's useful. Like they probably just think, well, it's not not our it's not profitable, or it's not of interest to us in terms of whatever it is that suits their own interests. And I don't know, like given the amount of power that they have, they could easily just pull the platform like they did a couple of years ago now that they did that. They could just do it again, and it probably won't bother them that much, at least for a market the size of Australia. And it'll be interesting to see how the Australian government responds to this too.
Look, I've got mixed feelings about this. I always thought it was a dodgy deal to start with, and really quite ridiculous. The fact it's very old world thinking that the media companies should be compensated by Facebook. Just because they're putting their news up on the Facebook platform. So on that level, I think it was, they were pretty lucky to get the deal once, and I'm not surprised they're not getting the deal a second time. On the flip side, that doesn't mean I'm any friend of Facebook or Zuckerberg here. I think, the reality is if Facebook wants to say that there's no value in news, even though they built that platform off the back of taking news and republishing, that's fine. I think if that's the way they want to play, then the Australian government should just instantly make them liable for anything published on that platform. I don't know why the users should be liable when Facebook is basically the basis for, the hate speech we see and so many other wrongs. It'd be the simplest way to get Facebook to listen, and it'd be an inconvenience maybe. Maybe I wouldn't be getting cheap stuff off Marketplace anymore, but it'd be a price I'd be happy to pay to make Facebook responsible to people socially outside of their country.
Absolutely. And as an abstract analogy, I heard it referred to, like tech companies in general are probably ahead of most governments in terms of regulation, in terms of, because governments are a bit slow in terms of trying to figure out how to regulate them, etc. And there was an analogy made to like oil barons of last century being ahead of the government in terms of being able to secure as much profit that they could, and whatever by whatever means necessary. And it might just be another case that this might be a minor example of that, but that a social media company of that size just can effectively pull the strings until, I guess, regulation catches up with them.
Well, you're right, and as interesting as a footnote, there's no reason that the rest of the world couldn't employ the same legislation that the US is using against TikTok to Facebook. That would be something else that I would really enjoy. Like Facebook having to set up a wholly owned Australian subsidiary where all the tax stays in Australia and they pay people directly in Australia from the revenue they're earning. I would love to see that.